Welcome to Your OC Sucks, the weekly podcast where we review and critique the best and the worst fan-created original characters from the My Little Pony Fandom. This show is unfiltered and unscripted, so minor language will be used. As well, the show can be a little heavier on the critique at times. That being said, if you are easily offended, do not watch. If not, feel free to join us for this week's show. This episode is episode 61 for May 8th, 2015. This week, we have a very lethal special guest. Join us as we light up this week's show. My name is Mummified Thunderbirds. I am the host and show manager. I am joined by
Commander Sparkle, Assistant Project Manager.
I'm Betty Bobo. I'm in charge of gathering questions and viewer interaction.
And I'm Smooth Sailing, and I'm the editor.
Our special guest this week, though known for being deadly, is also known for lighting up DeviantArt and YouTube with her amazing art and wonderful voice. That is to say, when her alternative ego is not killing her friends. She casts a spell on everything she makes, as well as her wonderful OC that we have... She casts a magical... She casts a spell on... She casts a spell on everything she makes, as well as her wonderful OCs that have been shown here on our show. This week, I want to welcome to the show the wonderful, the beautiful, the amazingly talented LethalAuroraMage.
Hi guys, this is Mage. Gosh,
Hi, Mage!
You praise me so much now I don't know what to say.
It's Mage! She's on the show!
We did it, guys!
We did it! It only took over a year!
Yes, hello, this is Mage speaking.
Welcome to the show, Mage. We're finally happy that we can have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
As we do with most of our special guests, we like to talk a little bit about their characters. So, tell us all about your OC. You call your OC Mage, right?
It's kind of like, there are two versions of my OC, in a way. There's one that kind of fits the show sort of setting, so she doesn't have that evil side, is not like uber god tier and stuff. Her name is Aurora Ignite, so it would fit the show a bit more, and she has her own backstory and stuff. There's the one I use in my videos, which is a bit of a fourth wall breaker, so I call that Mage. She's not meant to be it's kind of it's weird, because the reviewers kind of have their own setting, which is called the Rift, and it's kind of hard to tell whether or not they're actually living in Ponyville or out of Ponyville, or is this a whole different universe or something. It's really confusing. I can't really explain it, but whatever it is, Mage lives there. So there are two versions. Yeah, I could say what my cutie mark means if you want, since a lot of people don't know what it does, since it's
go ahead.
It looks weird. When I drew it, I kind of I didn't know what to put sort of color, so it kind of went black, but it's not pure black, with a little bit of a purple in there, and it's supposed to be represent a spark of inspiration in a way. I didn't know what kind of colors inspiration should be like, so I just went with not rainbow, because that's probably, when you think of inspiration, the first thing that comes to your mind is probably a rainbow. So I was like, well, I don't want to have a rainbow, so I just made it black and purple, which is probably not what you'd expect inspiration to be like, because, black's not inspiration.
Actually, the colors that come to my mind for inspiration are the exact opposite, white and yellow.
Well,
because of the light bulb, the light showing through, saying "Aha!"
Yeah, that's more like an idea popping into your head rather than inspiration. But yeah,
I guess so.
It's supposed to represent the spark of inspiration, and it comes from the thing that I have this really huge problem of committing to projects or doing stuff if I don't feel inspired to do. Back in school, I couldn't even do my homework. I know it sounds like I'm being lazy, but I just couldn't concentrate if I couldn't just find the inspiration to do it. I could read the same line over and over again, and it just wouldn't stick, and it would frustrate me to no end. But if I feel inspired to do something, I will go out of my way to do it, even though I don't know how to do it. I'll find ways. I couldn't figure out how to do stuff, but I did because I just really, really wanted to do it. And same for art and other stuff and videos and, whatever I felt inspired to do, I just kind of learned it. And what I don't feel inspired, I just can't do it. So I felt it was apt to have it as my cutie mark rather than, let's say, like a paintbrush or, a drawing tool, which is, a lot of people have OCs that are artists or singers or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I do draw and that's my main talent, but I don't want it to just, to be just that. I feel like I have something sort of different about me other than that. And that's what it came to be.
Nice.
It's really cool.
Well, then we should also probably talk about your other OCs as well. Like, you've sent in a lot of OCs, and I think you're the first special guest that we've had that has had their OCs on the show before. I mean, I'm thinking
Zoe.
Okay, well, yeah, Zoe as well. It's a limited number of people who have been on the show and have had their OCs on the show. You have a bunch of well-known OCs that have been on the show. We've got Winter Winds that we talked about. I was going to save that for the end, but yes, you have Nutjob.
I do.
You just can't. You just can't.
It's a long-running joke on our show about Nutjob, and I wanted to ask, how has us pretty much just been like, oh, Nutjob? How do you feel about that?
I found it hilarious. Just like, well, I'm flattered, really, that you guys just found amusement with her. I didn't expect anything to happen, because she's just... Well, I was really happy with her. I was really proud with her design and stuff, and just the fact that she grew into an inside joke on your guys' show is just kind of, really fun for me. I don't know how to express it. I'm just really happy about it. It's always fun to listen to you guys, and then all of a sudden sometimes you go, Nutjob! And I just grin from ear to ear.
And it's still stayed after over a year.
Yeah.
In fact, on the 5,000 subscribers video, I had just a single frame of Nutjob in it, and I don't know if it rendered or not, but it's there somewhere in when the ponies are just scrolling by, and it's one little frame where it's just Nutjob, and then I'm like, yes, ha. Anywhere I can put it in, I will definitely try to get a Nutjob in.
During our 50th episode stream anniversary, where we had you literally have a part of our streams now where it's just #Nutjob.
Just put it out there, #Nutjob.
And then everyone goes nuts. Those comment sections, just people love Nutjob.
It devolves into just Nutjob.
On a scale of 1 to Nutjob, Nutjob!
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 I am both sorry and I'm very, very pleased.
That is the perfect response.
Thank you very much for expanding upon your OC, letting us praise Nutjob a little bit more, and all around coming on this show. But like we always do at this time, we need to get into the OCs. Now, this is a 5-man episode. So there's my D10. I'm going to use my D10 to figure this out. So 1 and 2 will be me. 3 and 4 will be Commander. 5 and 6 is going to be Medi. 7 and 8 is going to be Commander. Smooth. And then
Nutjob.
9 and 10 obviously are going to be Mage. So unless Mage, you would like to go first and talk about your good OC.
No, I don't want to go first.
You don't want to go first? Well, guess what?
First is the worst.
Rolling the die. It rolled a 3.
Fuck.
So that means Commander.
Sons of bitches.
Sorry.
How about we be rebels this episode and start with the bad OCs?
Oh god.
Well, hey, I mean, if that's what the special guest wants to do.
Oh man, starting with a twist.
What? Well, then let's open up the bad OC and
Turn our
we
we gotta turn our hats around. We've just become bad boys.
Since we're apparently starting with the bad OCs this week, the first OC, which is the bad OC that I brought for this week, is named Sunny Dream. Sunny Dream is a female zebra Pegasus hybrid who, instead of having Pegasus wings, has bat pony wings. She is usually really shy around ponies that she doesn't know, but is usually loyal to her friends and family. When she is getting creative or talks about things she likes, she sometimes gets a bit louder than she normally speaks and can get carried away pretty easily. And she is also known for having anxiety problems and panic attacks when under a lot of stress. For her backstory, she is the daughter of a Pegasus and a zebra, and her father was a very strict stallion that always wanted the best of those around. Around her? I'm going to say, in context, I think that's him. But always wanted the best around
maybe
him.
Possibly trying to control her friends, kind of thing? Like, make sure she doesn't have any bad influences around her, maybe?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I can't tell if it's a grammatical thing or that. Either way, her father's controlling. This then made Sunny sort of always trying to push herself a little bit too much at times, and even though he was a Pegasus, no one knows how Sunny got abnormally large bat wings at all. And then her cutie mark, she got her cutie mark when she dreamt about Luna teaching her how to fly for the first time, and then when she woke up, she started writing the dream into a story, and then like a full story. And she's in a relationship with a pony named Checkpoint, and despite her father's disbelief in the success of arts, she pursued her writing. So, that's the character. There's not too much to it, but...
Okay, well, she has the sort of a standard shy but loyal personality trait, which is very common in OCs that I've noticed. I think it's more like in a way, I wouldn't say self-insert because that might sound like it's a bad thing, which is not, but a lot of people, I think, who make OCs kind of like give them personality similar to their own, especially when they start off with OCs and they don't know too much how to handle their personality, so they make something familiar. And a lot of people are usually kind of like to see themselves as a bit of an introvert, but loyal to their friends, so they kind of like do that to their OCs as well. And it makes a very common trait in a lot of OCs. I would suggest building up on her personality a bit more to make her less like the rest of the OCs, and just elaborate a bit more on her personality. Because
Yes,
2-3 sentences don't really... Like, personalities are very complex things, and 2-3 sentences is usually not enough to express all of it. And when you use 2 or 3 sentences, it's going to sound a bit generic, even though, it can sound similar, but it can be totally different if you just, elaborate.
To be like, realistic here, it would probably take, 3 to 5 different group settings of personalities to truly define a personality of someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you're alone, you're like this. When you're with this specific group of people, that's maybe your coworkers, you're this personality. When you're in school setting around these specific friends, you're this personality. When you're in school setting in this set of friends that is different from the other set of friends, you're this personality, and personalities are incredibly complex.
Yeah.
Yes, they
I'm
are.
probably guilty with making my characters' personalities in 1 or 2 sentences too, but I usually do that because I don't want to reveal everything because I might use them in a story, but I never do.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
So it's not something bad. Like, as I said, I'm guilty of doing it too sometimes. So it's just something to keep in mind.
Pony, your backstory and personality, it's not bad. There's a couple sort of generic things could be expanded upon. The reason that I brought this pony to the bad section was mostly due to aesthetics. Not gonna lie, got zebra Pegasus but bat pony hybrid, which is hard enough to pull on its own, but then you got this ketchup mustard hair that's all spiky and everywhere.
Have we had ketchup mustard things for the past 3 episodes now?
Have we?
I'm pretty sure we have. Yeah, this is the 3rd one in a row, because you guys had one last week that You definitely said ketchup mustard on, and
Well,
Then there was a wolf.
I think we've said in all 3 cases now once I say it, but I don't think red and yellow just go together very well as colors. They're at least difficult.
Yeah, definitely difficult. I've seen it done well, I think, but I can't remember examples, so it's a little bit hard.
The walls of your room.
No. Those colors are the walls of my room, sir. And those colors do not work together.
I like color usage on this. I do not like how the colors play with each other. Like, I love the fact that there's recycled colors. Like, the bow is the accessory, and the eyes use that same color, and so does the cutie mark. I like that. And I like the fact that the mane and tail match each other. I'm not a fan of the general design of them, but I like the fact that they match. So that's a good start, at least. And the red feather, I mean, should probably be a yellow feather because the mane and tail seem like they could overlap the feather cutie mark very easily, so the inside color would probably be a more safe color to use if you were going to overlap them. In that case, but yeah.
I don't like the blue blow. The blue bow.
Blue blow.
The blue blow.
I like it. Actually, I think the blue is probably the best color on here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the blue bow, but I don't like how it fits. Like, I think that using that color and having that kind of accessory could work really well. But there's definitely going to need to be some reworking if you want that to like actually like flow into the character. Makes sense.
It's weird.
I mean, like, there's the obvious issues. Like, I'm not a big fan of the zebra design.
Yeah.
I think that was, like, too obvious, really. Or the bat wings. I don't understand why they're there.
Neither does she.
Okay. Yeah, so
Okay.
most of my issues are very obvious issues, and most of my dislikes are very obvious dislikes. I'm just a fan of the normal base pony design.
Conformity. I mean, yes.
The problem with the mane that I have is the way it's colored. See, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen OCs with, not OCs, the in-canon characters with, like, their hair kind of outline a colored, like, you know, have, like, inside part of the hair and an outside part of the hair, and because that's not how hair works unless it was dyed. It usually, like, at the tail, like, it would be like a red stripe, yellow stripe, and a red stripe. However, the red just kind of is like an outline of the yellow. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
So the yellow should just go all the way down in her mane, her tail, and her bangs as well. And because that's just how hair works. If it's, you know, multicolored, unless it's dyed. But why would you want to dye in such a way? It would be kind of weird. But yeah, her zebra-ness. I suggest looking at a bit of Sakura. Sakura has like these very stylized sort of stripes for the ponies. Like the stripes that are on her bottom, they get shorter to give space for the cutie mark, as well as she doesn't have the stripes at the front of. I don't think actual zebras have stripes at their front, like chest area either. I haven't looked at a zebra picture recently, but I think that's how they are. So a little bit less or a little bit more stylized stripes would be good if you're gonna have a zebra OC. Now the bat wings. If you yourself like maybe you have a reason why you have the bat wings, but you didn't want to spoil stuff because you want to have a story or something, and you know it comes in later. That's fine. But if you yourself don't know why she has bat wings and you were just like, oh, I just feel like giving her bat wings, then I suggest giving her normal Pegasi wings, because this OC is heavily over-designed, like with being a zebra OC, having very flashy red and yellow sort of fiery hair, and bat wings. It's very heavy and there's a lot to take in. About the cutie mark, I don't like how it's overlaid over the stripes. Like I said, in Sakura, her stripes get shorter to give space for the cutie mark.
There's definitely a lot of good points about this OC, and I feel like you touched on pretty much everyone and made sure that everything is covered.
Personality, backstory-wise, is like, okay, there's nothing really particularly out there. But in terms of aesthetics, it's going to need a little bit of work. I would recommend considering other colors for the mane and tail, or maybe redesigning them or something, and considering why you made some of the choices and seeing if they're a good idea. But other than that, it's okay. It's not the best, not the worst.
Well then, fantastic. Moving on to the next person. That fell off the board. That's a 0. So that means...
Mage.
10.
Okay.
Well, at least I didn't go first.
Yeah.
Okay, so that quote-unquote bad OC today is Timber Rose by Jafet the Killer. And, well, it's a blank flank. I think she's meant to be a filly because she's in Miss Shirley's class, advanced class, apparently. Her personality is optimistic, unpredictable, caring, and honest. And that's all info there is about her.
Except for the fact that she's age 16.
I would say they're probably meant to be human years, but...
Being a blank flank still at that age is very uncommon, no matter if that's human years or pony years.
Yeah, because, now that I think about it, I think the main 6, a lot of people speculate and draw headcanons that they are 16-ish or older, the main 6.
Yeah, about, right now. Whereas, usually when you get a cutie mark, you're more around, the age of, 8, 10 at most, maybe even, 6.
I feel like the colors kind of work together. They're a little blah and uninteresting, but then again, we've had characters on this show that are way too overdone, and it looks odd and weird and whatnot.
Yeah,
so I think this is a nice refresher from all that.
These are not show colors, though. Easily by far, they are not show colors. I think if they were softened a little bit, maybe they could be. Yeah, maybe brightened, less saturated. Both of them would probably be fixed a considerable amount by doing that. And also the eyes being almost the same as the coat color.
The eyes look like they're just right in between the coat and the mane.
You sure you want to do that? I mean, technically it's your choice, but it definitely doesn't help your character out. I'd suggest something that, let's see, if it's made into a brighter and less saturated brown, that would be probably more around a tan color, and tan and somewhat brighter red. What would go with tan and red? Do tan and red even go together?
I'm really bad at visualizing colors. Oh, God.
I'm not sure tan and red go together, so maybe just brightening and softening the colors might not work, because the colors themselves just might not work. I mean, maybe, keep one and try to change another into something else that would also work in brighter, softer-ish. Possibly. And then the eye color also.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure. You could work on it. Definitely work on it.
I would work on it. I like that the mane and tail kind of match each other. The tail's a little bit short in comparison to the mane, because back part of the mane, if it's that size, but then the front side part is just dangling down nearly to the ground. I mean, maybe that's just they just decided, I'm just gonna grow out my mane, fuck my tail. I don't know. That might be what they decided, but I think the mane and tail design wise are, a little bit boring, but they're not bad.
So it's you could call it a base to work off on, because she really doesn't have anything to her other than the word, the name Timber Rose, which I kind of see the color scheme of, because timber wood, and that hence the brown, and rose the red. So I can sort of see the colors working with the name, which is cool. The eyes now, I also have like the problem with that the eyes are a similar brown to the coat. I would say either go with the main color, which is also not a very good option, but slightly better, or maybe like something completely different, like a yellow or blue. I'm not sure, just a different color, just any different color would probably work at this point. Green maybe, because timber rose both are nature stuff. So green's nature, right?
That's a nature color.
Yeah, so there's really not much to say about her, and that's, I think, her biggest weakness. I suggest working with this OC a bit more, improve it, give it more flesh, so to speak, because this is just bare bones of an OC. And that's that.
Yeah. Definitely, there's not really anything I can disagree with that. And there's not much more to say, honestly. Like you said, I mean, that's one of the faults of this character, is there's not really too much to talk about. But yeah.
Well then, thank you for bringing on that one there, Mage. Time to roll the die of fate once more. Speaking of once more, it rolled a 1. So we get to take a look at the bad OC I brought to the party this week. This is Smallfire by L.Y. Cowhat. Her cutie mark is a cupcake that is surrounded by fire. Her talent is baking sweets and setting things on fire. So, I'll give you the short thing of this story. She was at home. Her mother was away. She was hungry. She decided she was going to bake a cupcake. She, after baking the cupcake, wanted to take a nap. She woke up outside of her house after the nap to find her mother crying and sobbing and whatnot, and it turns out her house caught fire. On the way to her aunt's house with her parents, she realized, there's a cutie mark on my flank now. That's a cutie mark. Oh, what is it? Oh, look. Oh, it's a cupcake. Look. Oh, and it's surrounded by fire. Did you do it? I don't know. Did I? And then, I think I did. Small
and then
fire.
she became an arsonist.
Yeah, right?
And I'm not gonna lie, that I was actually totally gonna make the joke when you said, oh, she went to bake a cupcake, and then her house burned.
Yeah, that's pretty much how the story goes.
Wow.
Small fire is about as big as a mare, but acts like a stallion. I don't know how size comes into that. If you get into a fight with her, you have a big chance of losing. She may look small and delicate, but she is strong as a stallion. Don't underestimate her. She likes reading, spicy foods, swimming, pissing other ponies off.
How do you get, like, what do you do in your life to realize that's your talent? Burning your own house down.
Yes.
What does such a talent entail for your life?
Being a sociopath.
Having a high insurance rate?
That works too.
It's just like, well, I randomly set things on fire, apparently. I don't understand it.
The character is, I bake a cupcake. Man, that was a delicious cupcake. Time to not leave the oven off. Time to just keep it on. Go to sleep. And how do you not wake up while the house is burning down? Like, how are you just all of a sudden outside? Like,
No fire alarm.
obviously someone had to, like, pick you up and take you out of there, but you probably would have, woken up by the freaking someone jerking you up by freaking, gotta get out of here! Ah!
I mean, we're talking about someone who's around 24, not, a baby that you can pick up and move wherever.
Yeah. Someone you have to put a lot of effort toward picking up.
She's a fucking heavy-ass sleeper.
I do like the sort of art style that's behind that cutie mark. I like the idea of a cupcake just bursting into flames.
Spontaneous combustion.
I do like the idea for the design.
Yeah, it's just like one of these things that it's one of these things that it looks good from just a pure image standpoint, but I don't think I'd back it as a cutie mark. It's a little bit over the top.
You could, like, maybe have that assigned to a store or something like that, and people would be like, whoa, the burning cupcake! That sounds very odd, but okay.
That sounds metal. If I found out there was a bakery nearby that was the burning cupcake, I'd be like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
I want a devil's chocolate cupcake with, like, black frosting with red sprinkles. Ooh, it'd be the edgiest cupcake ever.
You know what would be really cool to have as a talent with such a cutie mark? Like, spicy cupcakes.
Ooh. She does like spicy food.
Ooh.
I think, it would be a really interesting talent to have spicy in cupcakes and make it actually work.
And it doesn't actually, that kind of an idea doesn't seem too far-fetched either, because a lot of people,
Food innovation.
there are a lot of like recipes that I've found that do try to mix spice and chocolate together. Like there's a bunch, you can go out and find maybe like 10 different spicy hot cocoa recipes out there, and it's not too like weird of a concept. I think that would work out very well.
Yeah, when I go to this in Lithuania, we have this sushi restaurant thingy, and when I order this meal, I forget what it's called. It's not sushi though. We get this sweet and spicy dip that I absolutely love because it's both sweet and spicy. It's like it's really good. Like, because I like sweet things, but it's so spicy that it brings a tear to my eye. But I still eat it because it's just so good. So I think, it's possible to do that. And if that was her actual talent, that would be really cool.
I think that the pony herself is actually kind of cute. I think the yellow needs a bit of work, and the outline on the eyes and stuff is kind of it kind of throws me for a loop, but other than that, I mean, it's not that I kind of like it.
The blue is very, very saturated. It's really, especially against a white background, to me it's kind of hurting my eyes. The yellow itself might be fine, but the outline is a little dull. I would go for a more orangey outline to give it a bit more warmth and bounce. Because I've had that too, the yellow is a very hard color to work with for me. So whenever I just want to give more warmth to a yellow, I make the outline orangey rather than a darker yellow of the same hue.
Well, it looks like it has a green tinge to it right now, so maybe turn it from its green tinge into, like, not just the outline, but also the inside color into an oranger tinge.
You see, I could be wrong, but dark yellow is kind of greenish, which I realized when I've been using the yellow, but yeah, it might have a bit of a green tinge, as you put it. But I would say go for a more orangey thing.
Yeah.
The cupcake and the fire design thing, a bit, I don't think the cupcake should have an outline, and I think there's a bit too much going on with the fire. Maybe make the fire one color, two at most, cupcake, single color. Cutie marks are very simple in their design, and this is a little bit too much.
Thank you!
So, I would, because, if you put it on her flank and it's gonna be a small thing, it's just gonna not make too much sense. Like, when it's this big, it's kind of clear what it is, but when you make it a small image on her flank, especially on that blue, it's gonna look really weird and cluttered. So a little bit less design in the cutie mark, and there you go. Her mane, I like the design of her mane. The idea of the little tied up things is pretty cool.
Like we said with this, some color fixes, some tweaks, a little bit of a rework to the story, a lot of different aspects to this character, but a lot of good things as well that, you can keep and do. Again, find new ways to possibly recreate or apply what we said here on this OC to maybe considerations on the next OC you make. But either way, we're going to have to move on from that OC onto the next OC. I keep forgetting that I need to roll the die, and then I'm like, wait, who's next? Oh, right. Die roll. That rolls at 8, so that's going to be smooth.
So this is Evening Drawn. She,
Dawn.
It says, okay.
It says-
It says Drawn in the title of it, and it says Dawn. Okay, yes. Evening Dawn. Thank you. So that's definitely something to, right off the bat. That's something. She's as old as the sun and the moon.
Okay, that's an old horse.
Yeah, that is a very old horse.
In the words of Many Bobo.
It is.
Man, this episode is everyone just taking my...
I'm sorry.
She's kind, protective, and motherly, mainly towards Celestia and Luna, and shy when you first meet her. Now, when I say that she also has the special talent of taking care of the sun and the moon, which is also representative of Celestia and Luna, you would assume then, in that case, by the fact that she takes care of sun and moon and Celestia and Luna, and motherly toward them, that she is actually a mother to them. That is incorrect. She is not actually their mother. She knows their parents, however, and she resides in space itself. She does not have an actual home on the planet. For this interpretation of Equestria has Celestia and Luna existing before the planet Equestria is on exists. Meaning they are most certainly gods and not mortals. She became friends with Celestia and Luna, which almost makes it seem like she's more their age, but I guess she is older than them. And at some point, a little tiny Luna said, like, hey, we're going on to this planet that now exists. You should come meet with us sometime. And Evening Dawn apparently does not like going down to the planet very often. She lives space and does not like being seen by other ponies. She can go down to meet with Celestia and Luna, but other than Celestia and Luna, she does not go down to the planet. And when she does, she is in disguise so no one can recognize her. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. What about you guys?
Gosh, where to even begin?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
There's just so much about her that doesn't connect well to the other things about her. Like, the fact that she's shy. I mean, for a normal OC, that's, pretty standard. Sometimes ponies are shy. However, she's kind of basically a god that's as old as the sun and the moon. Probably the sun. Sun's probably older than the moon. I don't know how Equestria works, but yeah. She's that old, and she's still shy. When you're an omnipotent god being that has control over the planets and stars and stuff, you'd think you'd have a bit of a confidence, It's a very odd thing because, both Luna and Celestia, they're kind rulers.
They're
charismatic figures. They ponies, cower in fear sometimes, or just, they're very nervous about them, but they themselves are a bit, relaxed and not what other ponies assume them to be, playful and kind and good-willed and such. Just practically regular ponies, just they're empowered and such. So, she doesn't have to be the sort of ruler better than thou attitude or anything, but shy, that's just a little bit...
It seems...
far-fetched.
It seems almost impossible with a person of that power. If you disconnect it, the fact that she has been shut in basically all of her existence, I guess, could lend to shyness, but it just seems so odd and out there.
It would be more apt to say that she doesn't communicate well with others, doesn't know how to, or has trouble with being around other ponies, because she can't connect or anything. Shy is not a good word for that, just something
More
something
introverted.
else. Yeah. That could be it. It's just like that, the choice of the word. I don't particularly like the whole story in a way that, like, she doesn't have a reason to be, Sometimes people make that, Alicornos is not saying that this one is particularly bad or anything, but that they do have a purpose, even if it is a very sort of silly purpose, that they're there to have a reason to do something. She's just literally out of this world, doing nothing but floating in space all the time.
Taking care of the sun and the moon. What does that mean?
That's the thing, though. Like, we already have Celestia and Luna taking care of the sun and the moon, so, she doesn't have a reason to be there. Maybe she used to take care of them before Celestia and Luna, but now she's just there. She doesn't have a purpose to be there, and I think that's the biggest weakness of her. Like, I think this person is better off creating an AU, alternate universe, where she does do something. She is some sort of goddess of something, and she does play a role in the world. And I think they could make a really good story with that alternate universe.
After all of that, now let's get to aesthetics.
Oh, God.
I like the light blue and the gray. They seem pretty on par with each other. The purple seems a little out there in comparison. The orange seems like a good contrast color against the blue and the purple, though. I don't like the cloud pattern in the blue, though, because why is it there?
Because it's to symbolize day and night, yeah.
But night has clouds, too.
But technically, as far as we know, she isn't really day and night. She's just taking care of the sun and the moon, and that was before the world existed. So technically, no clouds existed when she got her talent of existence.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, it's like, I don't like the cloud pattern either. I just, it's a weird thing to have. I think, like, it's the whole star idea comes from, like, Luna's mane, and I think Celestia has, like, but they're mostly, like, kind of like sparkles, and because Luna's mane is dark, it kind of looks like stars. So it's kind of neat like that. But, having clouds, like, I think just, like, either go with stars or nothing at all. Clouds it's a bit of a more of a, it's a less impressive thing, Stars are, like, shiny and bright and sparkly and kind of cool because space and such. Clouds are not so much. About the purple, you said you didn't particularly like it. I think the purple goes well with the gray, as does the blue. The blue and the purple, I think it, like, when I look at them without the patterns, they're not too bad. The blue seems a little bit bright, but it's not bad. I actually quite enjoy the look of it, and the orange is a really good contrast color. So, color-wise, it's pretty good.
I guess I can see that, yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
I'm not sure if I really like how all three of them work together, especially when you add in the orange, but there are a lot of combinations that do work very well. I'm just not sure that adding with all four of them works very well.
I think the blue could be easily replaced with, like, a very light shade of purple, and it could work.
Or maybe just a nice shade of orange.
Yeah, but the eyes wouldn't stand out as well.
Maintain a
Yeah,
I really like how the eyes stand out.
Yeah, I'd say I'd go with probably a lighter purple. Overall, there are several things that should probably be worked on for her general character, but I feel like this character can have a really strong and good general direction if you rework quite a few things, but I like that it can so far.
Let's take a look at our final bad OC for the week with Medi's bad OC. Medi, tell us all about the bad OC you brought to the party.
Annette Art? I don't know how to
Annette.
pronounce that name.
That's my guess.
She is a tinkerer pony, meaning she works with, like, mechanics and oily covered products, so it is a screwdriver covered in oil, but it's also a double meaning cutie mark because it also is supposed to kind of look like a pen, in a sense.
I think it kind of looks like a microphone.
I think it looks exactly like a screwdriver with oil on it.
It could look like a brush, like a paintbrush in a way, like a small one.
Oh yeah, it's like this. They say here is that the screwdriver is also as well supposed to symbolize a pen and ink.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she is thinking of changing the OC's name, but she doesn't know what she wants to change it to because Annie Art or Annette Art or it doesn't really fit with a mechanic pony.
Oily snoot. Snooty princess.
She does have the normal eyes here, but I also love her own style of art that she throws into this OC, where she just gives them big black eyes, because I honestly prefer those most of the time, because I like them more.
We've had so many black outlines for this episode so far.
Everyone is stealing my stick!
Your shtick.
Shtick.
That's what I said.
I'm the only one that doesn't have black outlines, except for in the cutie mark.
I said shtick.
You said
It
stick.
said stick.
I said stick.
You said stick. It doesn't matter. It'll be revealed in the actual video, so we'll see then.
Yeah, just gotta you gotta leave that part in there, Smooth, just so we can prove them wrong.
Anyways.
Talking about aesthetics, she's really cute. I love her little hat and scarf. It's adorable, and it definitely keeps with, as she describes, a steampunk aesthetic. I love how her hair actually goes with her tail quite well, because they seem to keep this puffy but with like little spikes aesthetic going, and it's represented in both sides, and like how her hat is just like I feel like if she had taken off her hat, her hair would just fluff up really big. I don't know why. And just the scrunchy face without the scrunchy nose. I like it.
And just like how it looks like the OC's going like sort of just like indecisive.
That's a very face.
Yes.
She's looking at the normal design eye, and she's like, I'm not sure if I should have that or not. The only thing I really don't like too much is the fetlocks.
Oh, but they look so adorable on this design. Just look how they poof out.
They're so fluffy.
Yes.
I want to die.
I'm gonna say, like, I don't normally like fetlocks. Honestly, don't really have a problem with these fetlocks, even though I know it's on a mare.
I'm not feeling it.
They're really cute though.
I like the color design in this one. These are really great colors, and I love how it has this cohesive scheme through all of it, in both the hat and the scarf and the coat and the tail.
You know what I really
It's
like?
great.
The purple eye. It's purple. I love purple. It's my favorite color, and I think it goes really, really well with the color scheme. And yeah, I do like that it has like a sort of like the color scheme. It doesn't use like opposite sort of colors. What do you call those? Complementary, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, it goes to show you that you don't always have to have complementary colors to make a good design. You know, you can have like from the same family of tones and shades and stuff, and still do a really, really good design.
Adjacent colors.
I usually don't like cutie marks having outlines. However, this is a very simplistic cutie mark, and they have their own style to the pony. And I think, you know, the outline actually works in the cutie mark this time round. So no problem there either.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really realize that there was an outline when I was looking at it originally. Because I skipped through that, because usually when the cutie mark has a outline that is bad, it is one of the first noticeable things about the cutie mark.
Mm-hmm.
Personally,
In this one, I just kind of
I think it
looked past it.
could be done without the outline, but
It's like the colors, I think, will blend in too much into the coat color. So the fact that they have an outline, it works better, like with their style. it works a lot better for it to have an outline rather than without one. It would look weird for their style.
I really like the scarf.
Yes. I like the little line on the scarf. I know it's a weird thing to mention, but I just outlines line work.
Yeah, like that crease.
Yes.
That crease.
And
Those
that crease,
creases.
yeah, and the way the lines go through that crease, just kind of bend in. I'm just in love with that.
Oh, it's so good.
It's such a small thing, but I am such a sucker for really good lines in arts. So.
I'm with you.
If you do have that backstory of this character somewhere, and we just managed to miss it somehow, please keep in mind that if you're going to be uploading a picture of it somewhere, that it would be good to keep informed everyone instead of keeping it specifically one place or another.